Hey there, I'm Emgris, I'm from Russia, and today I'm gonna show you Zaryadye. Zaryadye is now associated with a park, and it is now a park in the middle of Moscow, and it's really close to the Kremlin. I will show you. And by the way, check out my video about the Kremlin. It's kind of cute. So Zaryadye used to be just a district with houses. Some houses were dedicated to some trading facilities because it's river Moscow River is really close to it, and some just were houses for living. And that was not a very nice district because basically you can guess that with all the docks and trading things, the environment wasn't really nice over there, but it was a legitimate living area. Later, during the Soviet times, on this exact place, architects decided to place another Stalin's skyscraper. Probably you've seen one of those, and they wanted to put one really close to Kremlin, but they ended up making only just the foundation of it, and then they stopped. I don't know why, but later on this exact foundation they made the hotel Rossiya, and it was one of the biggest hotels in Russia back at those times, probably the biggest. And it was very popular. It was even in several movies. I will insert the picture of this hotel somewhere here. And basically it was a prosperous hotel, not a very nice from the architecture perspective, but that was the trends of those times, so let's just deal with it. And basically there was a huge fire in the 70s, in 1977, and it was hugely destroyed by this fire. They tried to rebuild it, they tried to make several projects to rebuild it, but eventually they decided not to, and they disassembled, they took it down, and for some time it was just a vast area over here with basically nothing. And in 2007, I guess they started to build the park here, and they decided that it should be a very special park. I will tell you about it a little bit later. Park Zaryadye was designed and built by the American Construction Bureau, and basically the whole concept is that Zaryadye should show you different natural zones of Russia. So you can see here steppes, you can see some mixed forests, you can see some Siberian forests, and basically walking over here you're like walking around Russia and see different trees and different plants. That's really nice. Actually, not even the Muscovites know that in Zaryadye you don't just walk around, you can find a lot of sites, you can find a lot of equipment, you can find a lot of places here, and one of them is right behind me, the amphitheater, the open amphitheater. That is the hugest open amphitheater in Moscow, and a lot of concerts can take place here, and just a nice venue for sitting and chilling in the sun. It's not the most spectacular place, but we're just starting with it. Because Zaryadye was a living area, a lot of, okay, not a lot of, but some buildings are still there, and one of them is the church behind me. So this church is actually pretty old, and it was there since Zaryadye had been the living area. So you can just check it out while you're here, and we will show you some other churches that are still here, but are dedicated to other events and eras. One of the most favorite places of Muscovites in Zaryadye is this river overlook, the Парящий мост, as we say here, the bridge that is flowing above the river, the Moscow River, and it is pretty spectacular. That's just one of the signs that that you can find over here, and you can see how many places of interest are here. And right now we will be heading to an ice cave, and I haven't been there yet, so let's check it out. Here in Zaryadye we can also find the Gastrocenter. It's right behind me. And this is the place where you can try different national cuisines of Russia. And it's probably the only place like this in Moscow, at least the only one I know of, where you can actually try different cuisines. And Russia is full of different nationalities and different cuisines. And here they say that you can have a huge bowl of food for 300 rubles. And this is really cheap, especially if we're talking about Moscow, not the cheapest city in the world. And we're talking about city center. It's just 500 meters to the Kremlin. That is like the centrist center of Moscow. And it's kind of a bargain.
Нет, смотрите, тут ничем не отличается, просто это подается с абрикосами, а это с брусникой.
Мясо выбирают. Выбирают большие стоит.
Do you see this weird looking concrete thing that goes from here to nowhere? People probably wonder what it is. It's actually the entrance to Hotel Rossiya, Hotel Russia, that used to be there. A really big concrete building over there, but now it's gone. Last time we didn't have an opportunity to visit the ice cave, so let's do it today. It's several weeks after the filming of the first part of this video. There are those machines here, those terminals, where you can buy the ticket. So let's buy the ticket for the ice cave. So if you're visiting it in summer and if you don't have anything warm with you, you will have to pay extra for the blanket. And so, wow, the blanket is kind of expensive. So the ticket costs 180 for adults, and with the cover, with the blanket, it costs 540. That's an expensive blanket, but I don't have a blanket, and I can buy the cheaper ticket. Okay, I need to pay, so I need my phone right now. Okay, I guess this is the ticket. Okay, that's the ticket. Okay, cool. Let's go.
Которые в дефиците.
И архитектором Алексеем Козырем. Авторам удалось создать в городской среде объект, который позволит зрителям совершить небольшое путешествие в царство льда и снега, насладиться красотой мельчайших кристаллов, которыми покрыты колонны и стены пещеры, и самим пещером.
What I can say, it's nice. It's just nice. Nothing too spectacular. So it's definitely not worth 500 rubles with the cover, but 190 maybe. In Zaryadye you can find a lot of really old buildings and the heritage of the imperial times. Like for example, behind me there is the chamber of Boyari Romanovi. That's sort of the high class of people back in those times. And in these chambers, actually the first Russian Tsar, Alexei Mikhailovich, was born, and Alexander II, he decided that it should be a museum just because of that. And it's very weird that it actually survived the Soviet times and they didn't take it down, and we still can visit it. I'm not sure whether it's open today, but I will try. If I will be able to visit it, then I will put the footage here, but if not, then probably it's a good idea to visit it some other non-COVID times. In Zaryadye there are also a lot of places where you can find some exhibits, concerts. So there is this huge hall for concerts, and the media center for exhibitions, for excursions, for everything related to that. So you can actually come here and spend the whole day here because of all the attractions that you can find here. Behind me you can see the old English court, and that's the oldest embassy building in Moscow that is still here. And there is a funny story about that. Basically it survived the Soviet times, and that's how. So there was the huge beautiful building here on this place, and when they were trying to construct the hotel Russia, the Hotel Россия, they decided to put it down, take it down, because this building was in the way of creating the hotel. But actually the enthusiasts, the historian, okay, the guy who was fond of history and architecture, he had a vote, and he said that actually that beautiful building was just the case for this old English court, and they disassembled their big building and they found out this, and they decided not to take it down. Even the Soviet times, they saw the heritage in this, they saw the importance of it. Probably you wonder why it's called Zaryadye. Basically Zaryadye means behind the rows, behind the aisles, and it's due to its original idea that it was the trading aisles here, trading rows, and Zaryadye was behind them. That's why it's called Zaryadye. As simple as that. Behind me you can see the media center, and inside it there is my personal favorite attraction here. It's called the Fly Over Moscow and the Fly Over Russia. Basically it's a 4D, 5D cinema. What happens is that you sit there, you have your belts, you fasten your seat belts, then you have a flight basically. I don't want to tell you more, just because you should definitely come here and try for yourself. They don't allow any filming, so I don't have any footage, but I will try to find something online. Maybe there is something, but I definitely recommend it. Sometimes to find an exhibition you should really look for it, and one of them is here in the northern underpass. When the first time I was looking for it, it took me so long to find it, but actually it's here, and it's an exhibition of I will show you in a second. This is the exhibition of street art of Nizhny Novgorod, the city that I will be visiting in the next video, in the next vlog, and stay tuned basically. And now I want to show you my favorite art pieces of here. Zaryadye Underground Museum. Let's check it out. Unfortunately, the museum is closed, but here is the passageway with really not tall ceiling, high ceiling. But here is the passage to Moscow River. I have never been here. I've never seen Moscow River from this point of view, and it looks really nice. Sometimes random objects, art objects appear here. So here is the loading head. I don't know, but I like it. I really do. Have you got any questions about Russia? Leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification button, and subscribe to my other social media. Links in the description below. See ya!